Welcome to the Less Insurance Dependence Podcast. I'm your host, Lester De Alwis. This podcast is dedicated to helping dental professionals build stronger, more profitable practices with less reliance on insurance. Today, I'm thrilled to welcome Lex Orzalli, Director of Marketing at Vision Dental Partners, a doctor-owned dental group known for turning dentists into local legends in their communities. What's interesting about Lex is she came up through operations before marketing, so she sees a brand as patient experience and trust, and not just billboards. So in today's episode, we've titled it as In Network to In Demand, Building a Brand Patients Choose. We'll explore how the how do you take my insurance question gets baked into the patient journey, how brand and experience can outweigh being in network, and what brand readiness looks like for a practice preparing to lean less on PPOs. Lex, welcome to the show. We're so glad to have you here.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
All right. So from the beginning, you didn't start in marketing, right? You came through operations at Real Life Dental and DEO before leading marketing at VDP. How has seeing a practice from the inside out shaped the way you think about brand, patient experience, and insurance?
Yep. So it's a little unconventional how I came into marketing. I kind of just fell into it like I fell into dentistry. So no agency experience, but my superpower is that I've seen the patient experience from start to finish. I know what it should be like when a patient comes in, and I know what a good experience is, and I know what a bad experience is. So having that knowledge has helped me to shape my marketing campaigns around what patients actually want. Mm-hmm. And I see marketing as we're making a promise. And I see the patient experience as the team's keeping that promise. And when those two things are not aligned, it's absolute chaos. So if marketing is running a campaign and the team has no idea about it, it's going to be really icky for the patient on the phone when they make that first phone call. So just knowing what the experience in the office is has helped me to create better marketing campaigns and opportunities for patients. And I think I do want to talk about the insurance aspect of that as well, since this is a less dependent on insurance podcast. Something I think that's interesting that marketing doesn't always do is they talk about a lot of marketing is like promotions and not that actual like brand of the practice. And the brand of the practice is that keeping up the promise that I said. It's how the patient feels when they walk into the office. And that's what I prefer to market over promotions and services that we offer. The patient, not all patients care about like a whitening promotion or an Invisalign promotion. Sure, some do. That can be great information to put out there. But really, they want to know like, is the doctor a good human? And are they, there's a thumbs up. And are they great at dentistry? Like that is what people want to know. And so that's what I focus my marketing on is the people aspect, not the procedures.
I think that's the inside out view you just explained is very rare. Like most marketers never have that experience or have never gone through that experience. I think that's really important. You just shared. And I think now the insurance problem now, the first thing many patients ask is, do you take my insurance? A very, very common question. How did the industry train patients to lead with that? And what does it cost the practice trying to grow on its own terms?
So the industry training patients to think about insurance first, it's kind of turned us into this like gas station model. Like you are trying to go to the place that's closest and cheapest. And like I said, patients aren't always just interested in those things. There are certain patients who are just interested in that, but there are patients who actually care about the person that they're going to be seeing. And I think the biggest downfall, like the biggest challenge that we have not overcome is actually the training on the phones when it comes to that question. Most front teams who are asked that question are going to dive into the intricacies of that specific individual's insurance. And the phone is not the place to be having that conversation. So we train all of our teams, and I have done this throughout my whole career, is train the teams like answer the insurance question as quickly and efficiently as you can, and then move on to scheduling. Like keep control of the conversation and move to scheduling. So instead of saying, oh, we are or are not in network, or we will bill that insurance, but then you pay up front and then all of this, like they don't need to know that. They just need a friendly interaction where you say, yeah, we work with most insurances. We're going to do a complimentary benefits check for you and let you know anything before your appointment. Let's go ahead and get you scheduled. Would you prefer a morning or an afternoon? Like just moving into scheduling and not getting stuck on insurance is where offices often have a hard time growing. Is like if you're not training your front teams on correct verbiage when it comes to insurance conversations, then they are blocking your growth, because that is the very first patient interaction. And if you can't get new patients scheduled, it's going to be really hard for you to grow as a business.
Amazing. Now, let's talk about, let's flip the conversation to Vision Dental Partners. So at VDP, VDP turns dentists into local legends. What does that look like on the ground, and how does that brand and patient experience start to outweigh being in network?
Yep. So most dentists see their brand. So when they think of brand, they think of like the colors on the website, their logo, what their Instagram feed looks like. This is what they see as brand. But what I see as brand is the personality of the dentist and the team around them. So that is what I see as the office brand. And so when we go and we have a doctor and we're trying to make them into a local legend, I am literally like going and reviewing this provider and the team and pulling out like, these are the 10 things that make this team really special. And then that's what I'm going to market for. Like I said in the beginning, like I'm marketing people, not procedures. And so, and this takes a really dedicated doctor, which is why I love working with our doctors, because not every doctor wants to get on camera, which is okay. Like we find ways to make it work. Not every doctor wants to be the face of their practice, but ours absolutely do. And I think this is what sets our doctors apart, is that they are willing and able to do these things to get out into the community, because you can't be a local legend if you hide behind your mask. It's just not going to happen. You have to get out there and into your community. So community events are a big one for us. Getting on all of the socials, that's a big one for us. And just really creating a category of one experience. So knowing and understanding and amplifying what sets us apart from the other providers in the area. Because anyone can do a filling, anyone can do a crown. Like all of the dentists in our area are amazing and they can do all of the procedures just like we can. But it's like finding those couple of things that make us really special. And then scaling that across our 12 locations.
Of course. I think it's more of like sharing your story. What does your practice basically stand out from the others? And that's basically how what marketing is. Like if you can relay your story to your patients, then of course they're going to attract and get to your practice because they know how they're going to be cared for.
Yes. And then it becomes less about insurance and it becomes more about, my friend told me you're amazing. I want to come see you because of this. So then you have a referral-based business. You're spending less on marketing, getting more new patients, and the patients, those referred patients who are coming in are amazing patients. So the more that we can build the brand of our doctors, the better patients, the better new patients that we're getting.
Yeah. And I think they become lifelong patients.
Exactly. Yes. They want to find a dental home. I totally believe that patients want to find a dental home. They don't want to be changing provider to provider. And I've gone through some transitions where we go out of network with an insurance, or a patient's insurance changes. And our patients have stuck with us through those transitions. One, good communication. You have to have good communication about what it's going to look like when you're out of network with their insurance now. But two, because we've built such strong relationships with our patients. And at our practices, it's not just the doctors building strong relationships, it is every single team member. So every single team member is incredibly dedicated and intentional when it comes to building the relationship with the patient. So from the front desk, assistant, hygienist, dentist, everybody, we're all 100% committed to like, how can we connect with this person? There's nothing worse than going into a dental office and feeling like a number. And that's like a nightmare for us. We would never want our patients to feel like a number. And that's what insurance can sometimes do. Exactly. Like I've worked in Medicaid offices. I know what it's like. And it can feel like really fast and like there's no relationship building. But even in those practices where we did take Medicaid, relationship came first. Like regardless of the patient's insurance, we're going to build a relationship with them.
Yeah. Now, most practices split marketing and patient experience into separate departments. Why is that costly? And what does brand readiness look like before a practice drops a PPO?
So I think it's really silly to not have marketing very involved in the patient experience, because marketing is the one out there with like what do you call this? A megaphone. Like they're out in the community with a megaphone, like, come see my dentist. This is why they're amazing. And then if they have no idea what the patient experience is actually like, and they have no influence on that patient experience, they're just out there lying. Like you want to be telling the truth 100% across the board in your marketing, in your patient experience. You want those to be intertwined. And so I think a lot of offices, it's hard to find someone who loves dental marketing who has worked in an office. I don't think I'm super rare, but I think I'm more rare than what these offices get. And so most offices go with an agency, and some are really amazing. Like there are some amazing dental marketing agencies out there, but a lot of them don't have that experience in the office, and they're not worried about the patient experience. They're worried about click to call to lead. But I'm worried about click, call, lead, conversion, how the patient was greeted, how the patient is taken through our office, like everything from start to finish until that patient leaves their first appointment. Like that is my baby, and I'm responsible for all of it. And I think that is a smarter way to run your marketing, because then you know for sure, like the promises that you're making are being fulfilled in the office, and you actually have eyes on that. And what was the second part of your question? Brand readiness?
Yes, brand readiness. What does it look like
before you drop a PPO?
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I've been through the dropping a PPO before. And what I think really helped us when we did that was we informed patients. But we didn't just like send out an email and we're like, okay, we're dropping your insurance. Like, if you want to stay, great. If not, that's okay too. Like we called, and we had a lot of patients on this insurance, but we called every single one of the patients and explained what it would look like for them. Not a lot would change on their side, honestly. Like the fees are pretty much the same. Insurance was going to be the same. So it was like, hey, just as a heads up, we're going out of network. And what I heard patients say over and over and over was, okay, like I'm still going to come see the doctor. Like I love him. I would never go anywhere else. Like these are the things I heard over and over. And why we were able to do that was because he had spent, the last 10 years being an incredible part of the community. He had been on social media. He went to all the events. He had kids in the area. And so he was at events and saying hi to people and building relationships, like in-person relationships. Like he had done the work to make himself a local legend. And so when we went out of network, patients were like, all right, big deal. I might have to pay $20 extra. Okay, I don't care. Like I would never go see anyone else. And that is the thing dentists need to realize is like, how you show up in your community really matters. Please don't be a hermit. We can all like use our phone and get on social media. And yes, those things are nice, but like that in-person aspect, I think is really important as well.
Amazing. And before we get to the next part, I think for the past few minutes, we've been talking about branding, and I think most practice owners, have no idea where their brand actually stands right now, and or what patients see when they search for them. So that's the gap, and honestly, that's the whole point uh, of the whole practice audit or the marketing strategy meeting that Ekwa Marketing, who is sponsoring this episode, is offering for the listeners of the Less Insurance Dependents. They look at your online presence and show you where the real opportunities are before you make any big moves on insurance. So, if you are looking to have a practice audit on your practice, understand where your online visibility stands, you can visit lessinsurancedependence.com/MSM, and you can grab that opportunity if you want to explore and understand where your practice is. So Lex, before we go to the final stretch, for a dentist who knows branding is their missing piece, what's the first move they should make this week?
First thing.
Mm-hmm.
The very, very first thing is I love what it's Ekwa Marketing.
Ekwa, EKWA, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I love what they're doing. I think that is a great first step, actually. I think an audit of what you look like to a new patient is incredibly important. And I would go one step further and I would audit your patient experience. I would watch my team answer the phone for a new patient. I would watch my team welcome a new patient. I would watch my team get to know a new patient. Like I would really like sit down and look at what my team was providing, because as much as the digital side is so important, like all the back end that the digital offers, yes, that needs to be on point. But I mean, like I've said, I feel like a broken record, but like I've said, this feeling that the patient feels while they're in the practice, that is the brand. It's not your logo. It's not your color palette. Like the feeling is the brand. And marketing is just the outward expression of that feeling. So I would audit your patient experience to say, is this what I want my brand to feel like? And then if it is, I would start marketing that way. And if it's not, I would fix that first. So like literally start listening to a new patient phone call. Call your office. Call your office as a new patient. Star 67 that. And call your office and see how they handle a new patient. Is that up to your standard? Like all of these little touch points for a new patient are incredibly important and matter when it comes to your brand.
Amazing. Lex, before we get to the final stretch again, if anyone's listening to this episode, wants to understand or have a chat about what you've been doing with your PDP or your experience with marketing and how to get more or better in branding, what is the best way that they can reach out to you?
I knew you were going to ask me this, and then I still didn't come up with an answer. I would say the best way to reach me is going to be through my Instagram. So it's BDP Marketing. And let me get the actual handle for you.
Sure.
All right, great. Old Lester. All right, let's see. It is going to be Lex.VDP Marketing. DM me on Instagram, and I'm happy to chat anytime.
Exactly. So if anyone listening in wants to get in contact with Lex, you can also get her details on the show notes of this episode when this goes live. So Lex, thank you so much for spending your time with us today.
Yeah, it was a pleasure talking with you.
So the takeaway here is one of the most practical reframes we've had on the show is that when you build a brand and patient experience strong enough that patients choose you, not your network, the insurance question stops being the gatekeeper. So if you're ready to take action and you're looking to schedule a complimentary practice audit, you can schedule that with Ekwa Marketing at lessinsurancedependence.com/MSM. And if you're looking for help or mentorship with your practice on the business side of dentistry, you can always book a complimentary coaching strategy meeting with Gary Takas at lessinsurancedependence.com/CSM. Now, all these resources are complimentary. We have built these for you to take action because this podcast is about taking action. So remember, being in demand is a position you build, not one you apply for. Every story you tell, every experience you sharpen, and every piece of content you put into your community is one more reason a patient chooses you over a list on the back of an insurance card. So build the brand, build the legend, the independence follows. Thank you for listening into the Less Insurance Dependence podcast. I'm Lester De Alwis, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.